Oh my gosh, guys. Welcome to the channel. I am so excited about this video. This is going to be a dedicated review. We're going to have spoiler and non-spoiler for Fourth Wing. I cannot tell you how much I love this book. I want to gush about it all the time. I'm currently reading the second one, and there's just so many emotions. And I literally want to tell everybody all about this story. Like, I want to give all the spoilers to everybody that I meet all the time, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. So here's my space to gush about everything because I got to get it out because I can't hold it anymore. So let's talk about it. Okay, Fourth Wing. If you don't have a clue what Fourth Wing is, so this is a brutal world where we are dragon riders and it's basically do or die. We're following Violet, and Violet is immediately thrown into this writer academy. She was going to go and be a scribe and be like academic and research and all those things. Her mother said no. Her mother is a general, and she's like, no, you're going to be a writer because our whole family is writers, and I'm not going to let you go be a scribe. Well, being a writer is very dangerous. Like, in order to even join the academy to even train, you have to cross this thing called the parapet. And it's like this super dangerous, like, walk you have to do. And apparently, from the way it's described, it's very narrow. And when Violet is walking across it, we have all these winds, and I think it's like raining, so everything's slick and everything. And it's super easy to fall off. Like, a lot of people fall off just walking over this thing, right? And you either bond with the dragon and battle it out day to day, or you die, pretty much. Like, there's no getting around. Like, your life is in danger every single day for the rest of your life. And Violet is dealing with some sort of condition where, like, her joints and her bones are very brittle. Like, she breaks super easily. She has spent most of her life in the infirmary being healed. And she is already at a disadvantage in life in general, but then going into being a dragon rider, everything else is like so much harder because she has to be very careful with what she does. Well, we're following her as she is dealing with the fact that she's in this rider academy and everyone wants to kill her because she's the general's daughter. And everyone wants to kill her because that's what they do anyways. They see her as a weak link, and if you're a weak link, they will kill you. Like, if you're sparring on the mats and they kill you, everyone's gonna like slap them on the wrist, but they're not gonna like do anything about you being dead. Like, they don't care. Like, it's wild. And this world is like very like brutal. Like, if you die as a writer, they just burn all your stuff and they're never allowed to talk about you again. You're just like disappeared, like you never existed. They will have this thing called the death toll. And every morning they line up information and they like read off the names of the people who died the day before. And that is the last time you ever hear their names. That's it. You only get that one moment to like mourn them, and then they're gone and you have to move on. It's wild. And then on top of that, if you bond with the dragon, you get some sort of power. Some people can like read minds, some people can create ice, or they can mimic people's features, things like that, like all kinds of things. And I had the best time with this. I devoured this story. I loved the dynamics between the friendships and the relationships. There is teeny tiny tiny love triangle. This is romantasy, so there's a tiny bit of a love triangle between her childhood friend Dane, who she grew up with, and this new dude Zayden, who is like a rebel, right? And she's kind of torn a little bit in the beginning, but like it's very clear like where she's going. And I had the best time. Some people are like, oh, it's so toxic or it's so cringy, and I'm like, I'm eating it up. Absolutely eating it up. If it's toxic, it's my kind of toxic. Like, it's just so much fun. I love the writing of this. I think this is so funny. I crack up all the time. The humor in it is perfect for me. Absolutely perfect for me. I will legit laugh out loud and I will like rewind because I'm listening to the audiobook and I'll rewind and I'll listen to it again because it's just so funny. And when we get into spoilers, I'll share some of those because I crack up. Like it's perfect. Like I don't know why people don't like this. It's super easy to read. It's like very, very digestible. It's not super flowery or anything. The world is pretty cool. Everything's kind of like it's almost like divergent in that you have your different factions and you have to like pick one. And then once you pick one, then like that's kind of it. And you kind of like leave everything else behind. The writers and scribes, like they do talk quite a bit. Um, Other than that, we don't really see hardly anybody else from any other of the quadrants. I guess that's what they're called, quadrants. There is like an overarching like storyline. I mean, yeah, we're like in the academy, so like we're dealing with like those kinds of things. But it's a bit like Harry Potter in that we have like an overarching storyline that's happening. It's like a bigger war happening. So in our like nation, we have these things called wards, and they go. It's like a dome over our like nation, and it keeps out other people. Well, what happens is by using these wards, we're protecting like this set of people, but like not all of our nation is covered by these wards. But like our entire job in like focus is keeping these wards in place because they protect us from these things called griffins that are they're like dragon-esque, but they're not. I don't really know what a griffin is. I kind of picture it like I picture the things from Veiled Throne where they're sort of like big buffalo type things, but not. And they've got like wings and they can fly and they have flyers, so they have like a rider. And so we're trying to like protect our nation from them because they are like our big enemy. I love how smart Violet is in this. She has to like over she has to like outthink everything because of the fact that she can't do everything exactly the way that other people do because of her limitations. And so she figures it out. She has to figure it out another way and she has to be like really smart. And I love the fact that she's really smart. I think it's super helpful for her character. And I think that because she's really smart, we can like use that. You know, she's not just like, oh, hey, damsel in distress all the time. I hate that. It gets on my nerves. Something else that's non spoilery, they have to earn everything. So, like, when you come into being a dragon rider, you don't have any weapons at all. And you earn those on the mat when you're doing like your hand to hand combat challenges. And so I think that that's really cool. I think that you should have to like earn those because that's it's a sense of pride, you know? Ooh, something else. So when they're like in the Dragon Riding Academy, they have different like wings. I don't understand all of the like little different sections, but think like military. You know how they have like the battalion and then they have like the section or whatever, and then you have like your unit. So it's sort of like that where they have like the wings and I think like the wing is the big thing, and then they have like the claw in the wing or whatever. I don't know. They have like smaller subsections, and so we have that happening. It's very like military esque. We just don't call it the same things that you would call it in the same thing that you would call it in the military. Oh, something else. So back in the history, we had a rebellion, and we like snuffed out the rebellion, right? Well, as punishment, we killed all of the people that were rebelling. And then with their children, we like marked them. So they have like this like rebellion relic up their body. And from the way it's described, it goes like all the way up, like from their arm all the way up their neck. And you know that they are the child of a traitor. And part of the whole like we'll let you live thing is they forced all of them to go into the writer's quadrant. And so they have to go be a writer or they die. I mean, basically. And so that's kind of how they are like re earning their trust and showing the nation that they're loyal to the nation rather than following in their parents' footsteps. So that's pretty interesting. There are a lot of rules as far as like at school with them. Like they can't be in groups of more than like three or more at a time because the general can't see. Um, so the general, he can see the outcome of things, but not if there's more than a couple of them at a time. together, so he doesn't let them be together all the time. And so they have like certain rules like that they have to follow. That might be all of the non-spoiler things. I absolutely love this. I highly recommend it. I was hooked in the first like couple hours of reading this. So I recommend trying it if you are at all interested, and I think that you'd probably like it. The dragons are very brutal, like brutal. They will absolutely kill you. They don't care. As they are cadets and they're like going through this thing called threshing where they're like presenting themselves to the dragons, and the dragons are like looking at them, like studying them, like trying to decide who they're going to pick, because the dragon picks the rider doesn't pick the dragon picks. And you have the where you're out in front of the dragons or whatever. Where was I going with that? Oh, the dragons. The dragons are brutal. Okay, so we're like walking in front of all these dragons, presenting ourselves, and they kill somebody. They absolutely do, because they annoyed him. And so they just like smoked him. They don't care. Like, they are brutal and they have no care about killing people. Now, the dragons are really cool because, like, so when you bond the dragon, like, you can talk to them in your head, and the dragons can all like communicate with each other. And the dragons are like their own army, and it's like the humans are their own army and the dragons are their own army, and we kind of like come together to connect and work together, because the dragons, they don't listen to the humans. Like, they do not answer to the humans at all, and they will constantly remind you of that. We don't listen to you. They have their own imperium, they have their own like leadership, like that's them. So it's really cool. I absolutely love it. Okay, spoilers. I think the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna talk about some of the characters first, and then we'll talk about plot points, because you gotta know the characters and understand how much I love the characters before we get to the plot points, because they just crushed me so bad. And so I need to share about the characters first. So, like I've been saying, Violet. Violet is so much fun. She is feisty and outsmarts everybody most of the time. She has her weaknesses, but she's definitely super smart. And I love the fact that she can use the fact that she has like the history knowledge to get through everything. And she like understands the codex and she understands the rules. Like, she has stuff like memorized. Like, she is a huge smarty pants, like huge. And she's a quick learner as far as like the hand-to-hand combat stuff. She didn't get enough time to like learn everything. A lot of people, when they're coming into being a writer, they've spent their whole lives training, whereas she only spent the last 6 months training, because she was going to be a scribe until her mom was like, no, you're not doing it. So she's just behind. So she outsmarts her opponents in the hand-to-hand combat challenges that they do, and she has to like live with pain all the time. Like, she's always got something happening with her, and that actually like comes into play a ton, because she's a weak link and she knows it, so she has to like outsmart everybody to show that she's not weak. Well, then we have Dane, and Dane is her childhood friend. They grew up together, and he is constantly like, you need to go be a scribe, go be a scribe, go be a scribe, don't be here, you can't make it, you're too weak to be here. And he gets on my nerves. I can't stand him. Like, she wants to be here. Let her be here. But he's just like constantly going behind her back and trying to like push her to go be a scribe, and like trying to talk her into deserting being a writer and going to be a scribe. She's going to get in so much trouble if she flees. Like, she can't do that. And he just keeps pushing. And he is so annoying about it. He's like, but I like you. Like, I just care about you and I want to protect you. Bro, let her make her own choices, okay? So he's super annoying. And then we have Zayden. Zayden is the other part of our love triangle. Zayden is a marked one. His dad was a traitor. His dad was like the leader of it all. Zayden wields shadows, which is super cool. And so like he's very much like an edgelord of like, I'm so dark and fruity, and he's wing leader, and we love him. He is fantastic. Like, he's brutal, and he will get what he wants, and he will do whatever he has to get what he wants. And he is a badass. Like, he does not lose. And we like him more than Dane, because he's very much like, you're gonna figure it out. Like, you have to outsmart things. You have to think outside the box, and you have to push, and you have to learn, and you have to grow. So like we've got this scene and where Dane is taking it easy on her when he's sparring with Violet, and Xaden like is sparring with her after that at some point. I don't remember if it's the same day or if it's like later. I think it might be the same day. And Xaden is like, "You're taking it too easy on her. You're coddling her. You're causing her to not grow." And Xaden actually like teaches her, and she actually like grows. And he's like, "Dang, you're holding her back." And so like we love that from Xaden. Xaden is very much like, "Hey, you're gonna grow. You're gonna learn things. Like I'm gonna teach you." And so we love that from him. And then we have Liam. Liam, I love Liam. Liam is a marked one. He is grown up with Xaden. Xaden and him were in the same like home growing up, and so they're like really close. And Liam becomes friends with Violet because Xaden gets Liam to like follow her around and like help her out and like be her bodyguard basically towards the middle to the end of the story. And we just love him. I don't even know why I love him so much. Like it's not like he got like a ton of page time and we didn't have like a ton of scenes with him, but he's just precious. And there's a scene later that I'll talk about when I get to like plot points that, oh, I just love him. He is fantastic. And I just feel so connected to him and I don't even know why. And so, yeah. We also have our crew. So like our like little like unit is Violet and Sawyer, Riddick, and Ree. And they're her best friends and they are so funny and they just crack jokes the entire time. And Riddick seems to like never take anything seriously. Meanwhile, like Ree is like super serious and like, I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna be like a leader. And she's very much like a leader for their little crew, and I just love them. And then, gosh, we also have to talk about Jack Barlow. Jack Barlow, he is our like immediate villain. Like, he is our Malfoy in this story. He is out to get Violet from the jump because her mom is a general, and he hates her because he hates her mom. And he is trying to kill her at like every turn. Like, he challenged her like hand to hand combat so that he can try and kill her. He's already killed somebody on the map. So we know he'll try and kill Violet. And man, he is just brutal and we hate him so much. He is our antagonist of this first book. Okay, so I think that that's all of like the characters you need to know before I like start talking plot points so that you can like understand what we're doing. Oh man, this is gonna be a lot. So like the first thing we gotta talk about is threshing because that's when we get our dragons. So threshing is so much fun. We are like in this field, in this like jungle, like you're just out in the open. All the dragons are out there, and you have to like go and find your dragon, but you don't know which one it is. So you're just like going around encountering all these dragons, and if they pick you, then like you'll be able to hear them in your head, like you'll know it's yours. Meanwhile, cadets are killing each other because there's more cadets than there are dragons, so you're trying to like level the playing field, like bettering your odds. And so Violet is attempting to like find her dragon. She's like, there's lots of acres out here. How am I supposed to find a stupid dragon? Well, she hears Jack and a couple of his friends talking about how they're going to go and kill this little golden dragon. It's this like tiny, tiny dragon. And I'm like, that would be perfect for Violet because the dragon's tiny and she's tiny. So like it would work out perfectly. And it's golden. And so Jack is like, I'm going to go kill it. And so these three dudes are going to try and go kill this dragon, right? Well, Violet hears them. And so she is trying to like go head them off and try to like interfere, right? Well, she gets there and she's 1v3 against these dudes who are bigger than her. She's got a rolled ankle, so like she is in pain already. And the little dragon is just kind of standing there and she's not helping. And Violet's like, you could help. And the dragon just stares at her. It's so funny. And then Xaden shows up. And Xaden, where he's in leadership, like he's not supposed to like interfere at all. And at one point he tells Violet, he's like, behind you. And I think it was Jack. He's like, you're not allowed to interfere. And Xaden's like, I can narrate. And so he just does that. And then Violet like fends off like two of them. And then Violet's having a hard time with the third one. And she's getting ready to like have a hard time. And she's getting ready to like be killed, right? Well, we see Xaden like take a step towards her. And then his dragon shows up and Terran shows up. Terran is this giant black dragon. And he talks to Violet. The dragon does. And she's like, oh crap. Because if it talks to you, then it's yours. And so this giant dragon just saved her life, bonded her. And then he's like, all right, yeah, let's go. Get up. I need you to get on my back because we're taking off. Well, so then she's like, can't stay in her seat at all. And he's like, you're embarrassing me. And she's like, well, quit doing flips in the air. I'm like, you're spinning around and I can't stay seated. And he's like, we're expected to show off. And I am the biggest dragon and like the most powerful dragon. I'm expected to show off. So keep your seat because you're embarrassing me. And it's just so funny. And then she ends up also bonding the little golden dragon. So she gets 2 dragons, which is fantastic. When I read this, I was thinking that she would either get the little one or the biggest one. But I also thought maybe Jack Barlow would get the biggest one because you know how like stories work, you know, your enemy gets the most powerful thing and now you have to like take them down, right? No, she got the biggest one and the teeniest one and it works out perfectly. And so she can like talk to both of them in her head and it's not okay. Like you're not supposed to bond 2. Like you're only supposed to bond 1. But dragons don't listen to people, so they do what they want. So now we're having to deal with the fact that people are going to try and kill us because we have now bonded the biggest dragon and people want that. So early on, if you kill the rider early, then the dragon can bond somebody else. So everyone's out to get her because they want her dragon. Well, she ends up being like attacked in the middle of the night in her bed. Well, her dragon, Tarn, is mated to Sigale, who is a dragon, who is Xaden's dragon. So now all 4 of them are like intertwined and can all talk to each other and they're all like connected. Well, we get attacked in the middle of the night, right? Well, Taryn alerts Sigale, who alerts Xaden, I guess, or maybe Taryn just talked to Xaden himself. And Xaden comes and just like demolishes everybody and just like, all right, kills everybody. Well, and then I don't know if this was before or after, but Dane was complaining about Violet and he's always like, I care about you so much, yada, yada, yada. And Xaden was like, would you have interfered when she was 1v3 to save her life? And Dane's like, no, I wouldn't have. And Zane's like, well, deal with it because I would have. And oh, it was so weird. Oh, and when she was fighting off like those 3 dudes with the dragon, they were like commenting on that, how like, well, you're injured now. And she's like, I've lived with pain my entire life. Can you work through pain? And it was such a great line. Like I loved it. And so that was great. And Xaden continues to like point out in front of Violet like things like this with Dane where he's just like too much of a rule follower and he won't do what needs to be done to like save the people that he loves. Like, I love you, but I'm not going to break a rule for you. Like, I love the rules a whole lot more. And so Violet starts like pulling away from Dane and pulling more and more towards Xaden and things like that. Xaden's friends, like the marked ones, they take her under their wing and they start like training her in hand-to-hand combat and things like that. And that's when she befriends Liam and things like that. They made her a saddle. Why they don't use a saddle, I have no idea, but they don't use a saddle. And she just kept falling off and kept falling off and kept falling off and kept falling off. And so Xaden's like, oh, whatever. So Xaden made her a saddle. And Violet made this comment of like, you let somebody, she made the comment to Zane, not Zane, Taryn. She made the comment to Taryn. You let somebody on your back to put the saddle on you. And he's like, no, I can put a saddle on myself. Just, do not insult me. And so that's hilarious. And so Taryn just kind of does that kind of thing all the time where he's like, don't insult me. Because she'll be like asking questions and he's like, that's insulting. I don't know why they don't use saddles more often though. Like, it makes sense to use a saddle. But whatever. Then, at some point, I don't even know at this point when we did it, but we got our signet, which is our powers, and Violet can wield lightning, I was a little bit disappointed about the lightning. And not because lightning is not cool. I think it's a really cool power. But throughout the whole story, everyone's talking about how um, nature balances out. She's always breaking. So it would make sense that the balance would be her being able to heal. No, she doesn't get healing. She gets lightning, which is cool. That's fine. I like lightning. I like Thor, it's whatever. But it would have been really cool if she was a healer because, man, healers are very needed. We're getting closer and closer to Zayden, and we find out that Zayden, part of why we love him, he is, I guess he's the oldest of the marked kids, and he's like taken all of them under his wing, and he does it for a big reason. So when his dad rebelled and he was caught and all those things, Zayden made a deal with Violet's mom that he would take ownership of the marked ones and he would vouch for all of them if they would just live, just let us live, and I'll vouch for all of them. If any of them rebel, you can kill me. And so that was the contract. And he's got like 107 scars on his back for the 107 marked ones that he is taking responsibility for. And man, that's a big responsibility. And that just shows that, yeah, he's like tough and he's brutal, but he cares. He absolutely cares. And he really took all these kids under his wing and like trained them. And like he meets with them secretly at night in order to like divvy out responsibilities. And he's like, okay, I need you to take the first years and train them in this. And so and so struggling in this. So like we need somebody to teach them this. Like he's very much like the leader. And it's so cool. I love it. Well, then what I was talking about earlier with Liam, there is a party that we have every year, I guess. It's a unification party or whatever. Basically, it is a celebration of another year of our nation being unified after the rebellion. So it's very much a slap in the face to the marked kids. Well, everyone is like required to be there, even the marked ones, even though it's like a big, hey, your parents died so we could have this party, you know? Well, none of them show up except Liam. Liam shows up because of Violet, because he is supposed to be with Violet 24/7 to ensure that nobody like attacks her. This party is really hard for him to be at because everyone is staring at him and he is like sticks out like a sore thumb. Like you know who he is because he's got the markings. And he does it anyways because of Violet, because he's not going to let her go by herself. Man, he's such a good friend. Like, I almost cried. Like, Zayden, who is like sort of dating Violet ish, like they're kind of like hooking up or like kind of liking each other. Even Zayden didn't go, but Liam went. Like, I just love it. I just love Liam. Oh, love Liam so much. Okay, so the ending. This is where things really hit the fan. So we've been pulling away from Dane. Well, part of why we've been pulling away from Dane is because we know that Zayden is doing some secretive stuff, and Dane can read memories. Like he can like touch your face and like see some of your memories. And so Violet has like pulled away from him a little bit because she's just like, I don't much care for you anymore, and just be careful. And we end up going on this mission. And what happens is we're on this mission. It's Violet and like several of the March ones. And they're sent, it's like war games. So it's like a simulation type thing, but it's like for training. And they're sent out behind the wards. So like they're sent outside into the danger zone. So while we're out there, we find out that one, Zayden is actually rebelling. He is smuggling out weapons to the Griffins and their flyers. We also find out that the Griffins and their flyers are not our big enemy, that these things called the wyverns, I imagine like a big snake looking thing, kind of like Dune, the big worm looking thing. That's our enemy. And these things called the venom, who they they feel like vampire zombie type thing. They're like super white and like yucky looking, but they're like super powerful. And so like those are our real enemies. and we're being attacked by them. So we have to bond together with uh, the griffins and their flyers in order to take out these venin and their wyverns, right? Well, we find out that the leadership knew about Xaden and his team because Dane stole memories from Violet, and they sent them there to die. So they're having battle of their life. Liam dies because if the dragon dies, then you die. And his dragon Day got attacked and died. And so Violet is like holding Liam and he like dies in her arms. Like dies in her arms. And it's so painful. And his last request is like, take after my sister. Like, I'm not sad for being here. Look after my sister. And Violet is so upset because she was just mad at him and Xaden. Like, she got so mad because they didn't tell her that they were doing all these things. And she just didn't know. And so, like, she was like, how am I supposed to love you guys and not even know? Y'all didn't even trust me with this. And she had just like told Xaden that she loved him. And it's just like bad timing. So I kind of suck. I did not emphasize how much I love Liam at all. And I am very sad that I did not do that. So let me re-emphasize how much I love Liam. Okay. When he died, I cried. I had tears in my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, this was like the worst thing ever. Like, I hated the fact that he died. Like, I have a friend who has also read all of these, and I immediately texted her and I was like, Liam deserved better. He deserved better. Like, I just loved him so much. And now he's just gone, and I cannot believe it. And I just like am so upset. And then, like, slight spoiler for my feelings for book 2, there's a scene where we're like in our feels and in our memories and stuff. And I cried then too. I just cried at the memory of him. Oh, that's how much I felt for this character in the story. Like, if anyone else were to die that we're like close with, I don't know that I would survive. Like, I cried. I'm so upset. Oh, I just hate it so much. Like, absolutely hate it. So yeah, I just needed you to know that. And so we're dealing with all these things. We end up like leaving, but things are bad. And so now we have to like go home. She ends up she got stabbed by one of the venins with a poison blade, and now she's dying. And so Xaden ends up taking her to like his actual home, like where he grew up. And it's supposed to be like a demolished city, but it's not. They've been rebuilding it. And her brother is there. He was supposed to be dead, and he's a healer. And so he heals her. So yeah, her brother is alive, and he saved her. And oh my gosh, it was wild. Like, we have spent this entire time thinking that he was dead, and then all of a sudden he's here. Like, what? Although I've kind of figured somebody was coming back, because it's kind of thing that happens in like these kinds of stories, is that you have someone who's like dead and then they come back later, but I kind of thought her dad might be one who comes back. Wasn't sure if it was gonna be her brother or not, so I sort of knew someone was coming back. But then the whole Dane stealing her secret thing, I did not see that one coming. That one was a complete surprise for me. So that was a really cool twist. Him betraying her is just, it worked out perfectly. Like, it was a really good move. Sorry if you heard that. There was a crash out here. Oh, the dangers of working in an office, I guess. But so, yeah, so I thought that was really good. I think that worked out perfectly for the story, and like, oh, it fit. Like, I hate when a twist comes completely out of nowhere, because it's just, you're just doing it for the shock factor. But this twist, perfect. I thought Xaden could go either way as far as like rebelling or not, or like sneaking and doing things. I'm interested. Let me preface this next statement. I currently only have like 3 hours left of Iron Flame, so I already know everything that's going to happen. However, when I finished this one, I was really interested to know what was going to happen in book 2 with their relationship, because she literally was just like, I love you, and then finds out that he's been keeping all these secrets from her. And so now what's going to happen, and then he like saved her life, and he's like absolutely in love with her, and so I'm really curious. The only thing that really got on my nerves throughout the story was that throughout she was like, he's trying to kill me, he wants to kill me, he'd kill me if he had the opportunity to. Come on, we interact with him, we know that he is fine. I don't know, maybe I'm just like, I know the tropes a little bit more, and so I can kind of be like, no, y'all are gonna fall in love, he doesn't hate you, he actually kind of likes you, so like maybe I just see that a little bit better than she does in the narrative, because she just constantly like, man, he hates me, he'd kill me. No, I don't think so. So I don't know if that's just me, or if that was that easy to read. But yeah, I think that that's everything. Oh my gosh, I had the best time. I love this so much. I love Zayden. I love their relationship. I love the humor in this. I crack up all the time from the sarcastic remarks in this story. And then book 2 does the same thing. Like, I laugh out loud all the time. It is so funny. And it's just perfect. Like, this is highly recommended. This will definitely be on my top 10 books of the year. There is no way anything tops this. I really think that right now, ooh, it's in the running for my top book of the year. I only have one other one that like maybe could beat it, but I don't know. I Maybe by the end of the year I'll have like a good decision, because like recency bias is very strong right now, because I'm currently almost done with Iron Flame. So, oh, I just love it. Man, it's been so much fun. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you've read this, if you love this. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.